You're listening to the Blunders and Flagons podcast. Hello, my name is David, and welcome to Blunders and Flagons, the podcast where birds meet rocks in the world of Middle-earth. I'm so glad you're along with us for this amazing ride. We've been having a great time. Hopefully you've been having a great time too. And if you haven't, I want to hear those in the comments. We have 5 comments, and I'd like to make it 6 before the end of the year. So
could be number 6.
I think it's actually 6 on YouTube. And like and subscribe and read the description and find all the errors that I've put in the description, and then point them out to me in the comments. And
Is that what's been happening?
Say about how much you hate what's going on here and how untrue to Tolkien we are.
Yeah.
Because controversy is what is hot right now. And so that's what I'm fishing for. Controversy. Speaking of controversy, how about...
in the comments.
No. For a fun fact today, I thought it would be interesting to note that Tom Bombadil lives in the Old Forest, which is not a great distance away from where the hobbits are right now. That is a fun fact. Am I bringing that up as a segue?
Comment?
No, I'm absolutely not. If Tom Bombadil had to show up, I doubt that he would, just because I don't feel like trying to portray Tom Bombadil. So he'd probably be
in the right. You need to be in the right headspace for that.
I'd have to be a lot more like kindergarten song inspiration, like the wheels on the bus go round and round.
Yeah, just hang out with your
Sounds like
nephews
you
for
got
a
it.
bit. He's busy learning how to throw his hat up in the air and catch it.
That's right. He's just busy, or not busy. That's
Dude,
Tom
he's a busy
Bombadil.
dude.
Sometimes he just doesn't care. He doesn't give a crap.
Right now, he's probably in his hero phase.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry.
Maybe. Who knows? Anyway, so as the lore master, it's my job to make sure things run smoothly around here, which is why you'll notice it doesn't. But we've been having a good time. We've taken a few detours. We've gotten to where we are now. And before I just keep monologuing here at the beginning of the show, I'd like to hand it over to somebody who, according to Jerry, I've never handed it over to before, Daniel.
It happened.
Gasp. It happened. It never does, but now it did. So, I don't know. Eat that. Whatever. Anyways.
Delicious.
Who are you?
Okay. Are we getting too comfortable? I don't know.
Can we be too comfortable? I don't know.
Evidently not.
I feel like we should
a
be
safe space, David.
we should be nice and comfortable,
Good.
but also have our limitations. Anyways, all of that aside, my name is Daniel, and it is my joy, privilege, and honor to be on this lovely podcast. It's been an interesting ride. I've never done anything like this before, and I have enjoyed it. It's fun. It's like playing D&D, but a little more formal, but not really. I'm enjoying it. But I do have an interesting and fun fact about the character that I play, which, if you don't know, is Barrelak Bramblefoot, who is a hobbit herbalist. And my interesting fact about Barrelak is when he was younger, he was already developing a skill for herbalism, and as such, he would brew his own concoctions, different herbal remedies and balms and salves, and sometimes a new tincture or some new kind of tea. And he didn't want to force his family or friends to try them out, so he would often go to a neighboring farm and test them out on their goats, because very frequently goats would get wounded in the field trying to jump over things that they shouldn't be, and they would get a scratch or whatever. And so he would very often experiment on these goats. And there was a very unfortunate incident one time, and he discovered that a certain salve that he had made had some very strange and perhaps hallucinatory properties when applied, and the result was a goat going amok and causing quite a ruckus, and he was thenceforth banned from the farm.
Bandfoot.
Yeah, he was banned, and that's the interesting fact. He had a bit of an incident with a goat, and it did not end well. But yeah, I will pass it on to the player who on my screen is to my left, audience right, whatever you call it, Jerry.
That's me. Hey, I'm on your left on my screen too, audience. I'm here. Hello, guys. Yes, I'm Jerry, and I have the pleasure and sometimes displeasure, as it would seem, to play the almost dead Barty Took.
You're
Not
are you
anymore.
all the way
He did
back?
almost die.
Yeah, thank
That's
goodness.
not the secret fun fact. You have to. You had to be there. You had to be there. It's he's just everybody knows him. Everybody tries to love him, and if you don't know who he
Now
is or
you
what
know.
the heck's going on, then my secret fun fact is for you. And if you haven't caught on, I've been spitting it out probably the last 2-3 episodes. Our secret fun fact of the day is that we stream to more than one service. I know it's kind of just like a personal shout out, but I figure if you don't stay for the end, you might as well stay for the beginning. So you can find us on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon, and Apple. And that's
yeah.
where you'll find Barty, Banjo, Barry, and our effervescent lore master.
And a turkey.
I was
with
trying
that-
to make the sound of effervescence, and it's a tough sound to pull off without a bottle
I'd
of
go with.
Coke. Just
Okay,
white
anyways,
noise.
Drew, go ahead.
Hello, Bubby. My name is Drew, and what a conclusatory pleasure it is for me to make up words
word?
and say what's up to all of you
Hey,
folks
Siri.
at home listening, whether you're in the car, whether you're in your house. We just want to welcome you here to Blunders and Flagons, and in conclusion, my name is Banjo in the game. In real life, my name is Drew, but I am very excited to present this fun fact to you today. Banjo, as a little tiny hobbit child, can you believe it or not, sucked at paying attention.
What?
I don't believe it.
School, psh, forget it.
What?
Little hobbit lectures, nah,
What?
none of that. I don't like it. And at the end of the day, he would get into a lot more trouble with his slingshot than often.
What?
And in school, he would try his best to get out of school by getting in trouble.
What?
And would spend his days playing hooky, walking around, finding byways, scaring all the little critters in the area. But by and by, his father finally sat him down and said, "Listen, son, I know you're no good at learning. You're no good at paying attention. Maybe what you can get good at is slinging some stone." So, what he did is he started taking little Banjo off on these pest control expeditions because his father was, of course, the stalwart or the bulwark or the what's
The prow.
Yeah, thank you. His father was the prow and the proud prow of his family business, which was
Proud prow papa.
getting rid of pests in hobbit areas. And Banjo at first would set little traps here and there, and eventually he ended up going on expeditions of pest control on his own. However, one fateful day, after a certain expedition, he decided he wasn't going to come back home. He was going to go off on a scandalous adventure.
He is a runaway.
And as such, has left his house and left his home and left his family to go explore the wilderness, explore the wilds on his own. And this is probably the only and the most adventure he's ever going to have in his life. As he already is feeling quite quite overextended. And he wants very much to go back home once he's done with all of this, once he's tied up all these ends, because he is a hobbit of his word, and he's a hobbit of good intentions. And he wants to, tie up all the loose ends, and then at the end of it, go back home, and hopefully, maybe a little sorry, maybe a little working off will do it, but at the end of the day, he does want to get back to his hobbit roots. But that's a little banjo fact for you.
Mm.
That wasn't a banjo fact. That was a banjo short story.
That was a little banjo short story. I'm sorry. That was a little bit more of a short story than anything.
Apologize for some of his
lore. But yes, banjo
I knew he was going to run away.
is definitely homesick. And with that, I will turn it to our to the War Master.
That's me. And thank you,
words.
one and all, for your fun facts. I never thought about Hobbit school. This is literally the first time I ever thought about Hobbit school. And I gotta wonder, what in the world are they teaching those hobbits?
Gardening.
It's not math. It's
Hobbit
not
math.
literature.
Actually, it could be
It's
poetry.
rhyme.
Could be.
History.
But like
They're very
but
proud of history.
Bilbo and Frodo were like rare, right? And even Sam, like appreciating poems and stuff, like they acted like that was super weird. I don't know. Maybe that was just the general
Well,
vibe.
enough math to know barter and trade and stuff.
I guess so. Anyway, just
Pardon me.
Economics.
Bless you.
There's no home economics. Anyways.
home ec points
That was-
to Sam for breaking
was-
a potato pie.
Potato pie. Potatoes.
I love me a potato pie.
Potatoes.
Oh my.
Well,
I
with
said nips and totties like 8 times after I listened to that one episode.
not nips and tatties, neeps and tatties.
That's what I said.
It's different.
That's what I know.
With that being said, or rather unsaid, because it will be stricken from the record,
And they will
let's
never know what it was.
jump back in to the marsh.
Marsh.
When we last... The Marish, yes. When we last left off, Balin had said a fond farewell to each and every one of you, with his heavily clad feet leaving boot prints behind him as he strode off to the north in search of the supplies needed to fund his trip to Moria, which, if you are a Tolkien file, will know is an ill-fated trip indeed. Nevertheless, that's out of our hands, and
What?
and
He dies in the Lord of the Rings movie when they find a bunch of dead dwarves in the Moria.
Don't
Yep.
tell me that.
At least
He's gonna
Dory
die.
knows to write it all down,
Don't say
thankfully.
these things.
And
There
after
was-
that combat,
listen.
I can definitely understand why.
Well,
I'll have a moment of silence for Balin and his axe of whiffs.
acts of wisdom.
Shh, moment of silence.
Bye,
Oh.
Uncle Balin. That's too many moments.
Yeah,
That's
that's a
not a
lot.
long
That's
enough
plenty.
moment.
It's plenty of moments for Balin. He wasn't that great of a contribution to this team anyway.
He was.
I loved
He
him
was the
as a
single
character.
greatest contribution to this blooming team I've ever bloomin' well had.
Barty's true on that.
He almost got us all killed. I don't think that's a contribution.
He almost only got me killed. You
saw
guys
the
lived
devil.
just fine.
So, as you are left to your own agenda after Balin
Company devices.
takes off, the question hangs in the air over the campfire. Where to? What doing? Why? How? In search of what manner of important things? I'll stop now
Well,
and let you fill in the blanks as you would like.
Before we dive in, can we agree just to make a quick decision? Because I feel like every single time we have to make a decision, it's an entire episode.
We're going to
We
talk
made a decision.
to Farmer Maggot's
So Tom
farm, period.
Bombadil.
That's what we said at the end of last episode. We're
going to Farmer Maggot's
because
farm.
we have the seedlings for the mushrooms. We're gonna say, "Hey, start growing these."
And then we're gonna
What?
go.
Dragons,
I
it's
don't.
a
I
good
don't know what
thing.
this is. Shut up! And we're gonna throw gold at him. Remember, we said
That's
that.
right. That's
And then
right.
from there, we're going to the Green Dragon.
Okay,
Yes.
that's right, because we're closer to maggot farmers.
Yep. Maggot farmers, farmer maggot.
Farmer maggots.
Yes.
Farmer,
So we're
farmer maggots, maggot farm.
marching our happy
Booties.
footsies over to
It's footsies. That's more PG.
over
Hey,
to
my
Farmer
footsies.
Maggot's farm with the intention of making a very brief and lucrative offer to him, leaving as little leaving out as much information as possible.
Yes.
And then we're gonna go back to Hobbiton and try to make amends with Gerda and whatchamacallit?
Bullbog.
No, the innkeeper. I forget.
Bill
Billbog? Bro, where-
Okay.
Man hands. Man
No,
hands.
was the other chick?
Rumbled.
The other woman.
Dahlia.
Dahlia.
Rumbo.
There you go.
Rumbo.
Dahlia's the
Dahlia?
innkeeper.
Okay, so
Rumbled
that's the
is
plan.
Boffin's Crocs.
Rumbo.
What do we have to roll to do that?
So
Lore Master.
so you you have
And you do the thing.
Rule for everything.
so with a snap of the fingers, no. You have the name Maggot, and you know that he is setting up a farm somewhere between Stock and Rushy in the Marish. And so you can head in that direction in general, seeking in this more swampy area. It's definitely more fertile than the area to the west. And you are seeing, very lush green vegetation, almost like it's almost rainforesty in its impactfulness and the abundance that you see.
I see abundance.
Gross.
But yes, you can pursue. I will say go ahead and roll. Let's say it is. Wow, I can't. Perception. Let's roll perception. See if you
Everybody? Just
can
one of us.
keep an eye out. We'll say everybody can roll. You're all keeping an eye out as you walk along, heading
Hold on, I did that wrong. Sorry, I did that
heading south along the road.
Rod?
South along the road.
Jeez Louise.
Seeking after
End my life.
Maggot.
Cut
Finish
my
him.
hobbit life into pieces.
There we go.
Perception, I get a +2. That'll be helpful.
Oh yeah, I do get a plus something or
So Barty, why did you roll twice?
My first one did it wrong.
Did it? Was it just a bad result and so you wanted to roll again?
I typed Rod, and for some reason it still rolled that.
What?
Hold up, let me re-roll mine. It's for some reason it gave me a 4. That's not.
Okay, so
Off to a stellar start.
How come we...
marching along the road, there is a certain place where the Brandywine crosses under the road, and there's a bridge that goes over it. And there are a number of fisher hobbits that are standing there or sitting there on the bank, casting their lines in and trying to catch
What are they
fish.
casting their lines in? What movie are they casting their lines in?
No, not like that. It's like so you know how when you would want to try to catch fish, it's like that
You
kind
want
of.
to have catch
That
fish?
happens. I definitely always... Anyways.
So
Quick question: are they fly fishing, or do they have those real fancy ones with the
Well, if
spinner
they're
thing?
fishing for flies, I feel like a fishing pole's not the best. Sorry.
That's an excellent question because this bears discussion, I believe.
Really?
As speaking as a not at all expert, but
David,
one who
Did you know
one
this
who
would happen?
shh, quiet. The adults are speaking.
I'm muting.
Speaking as someone who is is versed in not only regular fishing but virtual fishing as well.
Wow.
The topic of fishing involves very often a reel, and fishing reels are actually quite complex. There are gear ratios involved and resistances and drag that can be adjusted to
This is an
increase the
argument that they
tension
went to
in the
school.
line.
This is an
Yeah.
argument that hobbits went to school.
I'm not so sure that hobbits would be able to have a fishing reel. So they may have a very crude, spindle on which they could have wound some fishing line. I don't know how one would fashion line fine enough. Maybe sinew. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the pre-industrial version of fishing line looked like.
David, how did you pay him to filibuster?
People fished.
Nothing. I
They
did
had,
not. This
like
is
carbon
not
fiber
my
rods.
doing at all. I just want that to be clear.
But like people have been eating fish forever. You know that.
So it's unlikely to be fly fishing because
They use
fly
a net.
fishing
They're casting their
requires
nets.
casting your line and then slowly reeling it in and drawing your fly across the top of the water. It's unlikely to be
Fly
that.
that thing.
It's possibly a simple float fishing, which involves a bobber, and that I could see being
Sheriff
very
Bobber?
realistic. No, not Sheriff Bobber, and not Bobber's Croc. That's a different thing entirely. But
That's fish stew.
Yes, I could see hobbits having some colorful cork bobbers that they have hand painted, maybe with
Passed down from generations.
personalized patterns, perhaps, and some interesting crude spindle type.
I'm going to pause this. This is all things Barry is telling us as we approach these fish.
You know, I've been hearing about this new technology that they've got here. It's called a spindle or I'm not exactly sure what they're calling it,
spindler?
but it allows them to hold a lot of line for their fishing poles, so they can cast their line farther out into the water. Because up until now, all we've been able to do is tie a bit of string to the end of a stick and throw it out as far as you can. So you're limited by the length of your stick and string. But now they have these little the eyelets. They have to take their pole and they have to make little attachment points and thread the string through, and so they can cast it way out into the water.
Was there some conversation of like quickly doing something that was really like getting into it as fast as possible?
Yes. So
So that's exactly what you see. You see several hobbits casting lines
anyways.
with string on them. And you see a couple others, maybe just one, with this fancy new spindle. And he's not like holding it on a line or anything. It's like literally on a stick. And it's just being thrown out, and then he's holding the spindle. And it's something that they can use to wind up
like
the
a
line
kite.
quickly. Yes, much like a kite. And
What's it?
Well, that's fascinating, Master Barry. Really fascinating. Does it catch more fish? Please
Well,
go on.
you can reach the fish that are farther out into the water. The deeper the predator fish mainly do tend
like
to be in the
pike.
deeper waters. It's mainly the feeder fish and the small fish that come to the edge.
I go up to one of the fishermen. Hey, that's really cool. Do you mind if I hold that?
well, I guess you can do that. Here you go, sir.
How do I work this thing?
Well, it's actually I'm not quite sure. I'm trying to figure it out for myself. So, you take
Daniel, you trying to do
the
fishing
the
simulator?
spindle in one hand and you hold it up, and you take your bait in the other hand and you throw it out and let the
Ooh,
spindle
like a
just
slingshot.
fly, and you hold the
Okay, I
other
can
end.
get a hold of this thing. Can I throw? Can I roll strength to see how far I can throw?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright.
How big is this thing they're fishing in? I thought it was just a pond or a river.
It's a river. It's a big river.
God,
Wow.
what the
You're not very strong.
heck is going on?
So
I don't do it. You know what? I throw the whole thing in.
Oh no!
And I give up. No, I'm just kidding. All right, I rolled a 5 plus my modifier, which is
Probably
It
not.
doesn't matter. It's
a
not
12. So it's what plus
Plus
1.
Yeah.
So that is a grand total. Are you ready? 6. Yep.
So you take it in your hand and you whip it around and you start to get into the groove like it's your sling. But then because it isn't your sling, it gets caught in your wrist and you throw it, but it like swings around, smacks you on the back of the head, and plops 2 feet away from you in the water.
Daniel, you did that all wrong. Let me try.
Here, smart Alex.
I'm not sure if I would ever. Oh, right, okay, you can have a
Just
go.
one try. Just one. What's your name, by the way?
My name's Herch.
Dang it! I thought this guy would be Maggot.
I was hoping to, honestly.
That'd be-
Herch.
Herch.
Perch.
It's a fish
I
we
like herch.
catch round here.
I thought it was perch.
No.
You're thinking of the real world.
Yeah.
Well,
Here
pleasure
in
to meet
Middle
you,
Earth,
Hurch.
we call things
If you don't know
slightly
me,
different, like.
My name's Barty Took, and I'd like a try at your fancy fishing reel.
Maggots do make very good bait. I'll say if you're
speaking
looking
of-
for maggots,
I am looking for maggot.
yeah, I would try
Do you know
under
what it
Shut up,
a
Barty!
log
He's
of
giving
some
us
sort.
information.
under a log of some sort. You might find some maggots.
Do you know who
You know,
Farmer Maggot is by any chance? And then he tries to chuck the thing into the water.
Oh, I've heard of Farmer Maggot, another one of the hobbits with a line, with a stick and a string attached to the end of it. Oh, I've heard Farmer Maggot. He's setting up his farm. He just moved there. What would you say, a fortnight ago or so? Yeah, he's setting up a pretty large operation, I think. I'm not sure how much he's got in the ground as of yet, but. Yeah, Farmer Maggot. He's just west and south a bit, right between Stock and Rushy. Bamfurlong's the name of the farm.
Furlong.
Bamfurlong.
Bun with an N
Furlong.
or with an M? Like bum, or bun like bun?
Furlong. Like bam,
bang.
hit you on the head.
I'm
Fur
gonna-
grows
I'm
on the
gonna-
back,
I'm-
and long it's a stick.
Long. Stick.
Bamfurlong.
Well, hey, thanks a lot. I appreciate all that cool, awesome
That's great.
information you just gave us.
Banjo, with all your slinging, my throw is a lot better than yours, just for the record.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, I'm not a fisher guy.
So Barty, as he throws the line, it lands perfectly with a beautiful arc. The bait flies up, and almost like a ballerina doing a twirl, it lands perfectly in the middle of the river. And within seconds, you feel a tug on the line.
Oh, is this supposed to happen?
The farmer who, or the Fisherhobbit, I wonder what they would call themselves. The
Fisherbit?
Fisherhobbit.
Fisherhobbit.
He grabs the line and helps you to reel it in. Go ahead and make a strength check, Barty.
Ooh, another one. Do I get eaten by fish, guys?
Please,
Yep,
dude.
you get eaten by a
Dang
fish.
it, what the heck is up with these
He rolled a
weird
2.
rolls? There's no
Plus
like
2.
up the middle. There's never up the middle rolls,
Go
man.
from 20 to 4.
As he's reaching over to try and help you, he actually ends up putting a foot in front of your foot. And so when there is a strong yank on the line, you actually trip instead of being able to step
Right.
forward and steady yourself. Whoa! And you fall into the mud at the foot of the river. Do you hang on to the line, or are you...
Oh, for sure.
You
Oh,
hang
for
on to
sure.
it. Okay.
Oh, for sure. I'm holding on to this blooming thing with my dear blooming life.
So the bad news is that hobbits don't know how to swim. So
And you're
And
already
I,
half
oh,
dead.
shoot, I shouldn't have. And I got big old clogs on.
so
Maybe you'll float by your shoes.
I'll say make a Constitution saving throw at disadvantage.
Oh, you're dead. You're dead.
Oh, dude, yeah, because rolling a 2 is a crit fail for Barty.
What?
Yeah.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, because you
He's not
you used it
exhausted.
as a scar. Yeah,
no, but I
you're
have
not.
the scar. The scar's not.
That's
Yeah,
true.
the scar's not a
yeah,
point
you took a
anymore.
scar.
I forgot that you had took a scar.
No, he's
Otherwise, it would have been a crit fail.
if it had been a critical fail, he would have been forced to hold on, but he chose to hold on.
What? Hold on.
That's not right.
1d2, 1d20.
I feel like if it was a crit fail, he would have just
1d20.
gotten yanked in from the beginning.
20 plus 2.
Still not great.
Do I need to roll again?
I've got a big bone to pick with this rolling software. I'm not gonna lie.
So
the RNG is just not RNG. It's bad.
Oh my gosh! Look, you guys.
so
10.
so Barty, as he
Just for the listeners at home, we have rolled this evening alone an 8, a 4, a 12, a 7. We haven't rolled anything over 15. We haven't rolled anything over 13. Except for 1. Anyways, so
that's random.
yeah.
So
Random.
as you fall with a splash into the shallow water here at the edge, you are getting pulled further into the water by this line, which...
Barry, help me!
And it's happening kind of in slow motion.
I heard let's go. So I'm hanging on.
You want me to hold on? Still?
Let's go. I'm going.
Okay.
I'm still going. Let's go.
Dude,
Release.
I am rolling on the floor laughing because this whole time, Barney's like, oh, Beja, you're not good at this. I'm dying laughing right now.
So Barty, you let go? No. Okay. So if
die.
If
Banjo's laughing,
the
how can I let go?
What a silly hobbit. Let's see how well he rolls.
That's 20. That's a crazy dice.
1d20.
The infinite roll.
Lowercase
1d20. Hey.
Lowercase r, David. Lowercase r.
this shows you
yeah, I
how
forgot that
often
it-
I
I forgot
roll
that it,
in this.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
so
don't know if that's good or bad.
Why is he rolling high?
So the fisherman, as you fall into the shallow water, he jumps onto your feet and he attempts to hold you. Oh, don't be floating away there, master. You're gonna have to let go. This sounds like a real big
This
fish.
sucker's a big one. This'll feed the entire village here. Bum fast. Where are we going? Bum fast long. Bum for long. Bam for long. This'll feed everybody.
This you're saying as your mouth is filling up with water
yeah,
because
no,
the
it's
line is pulling you down into the water. Go ahead and make another Constitution saving throw with disadvantage. Make just a regular one since he's holding on to your feet. He's trying to help keep you from being dragged down. Okay, so 14. So this time you're able to kind of steady yourself, and with the fisherman kind of planting you into the ground, you're...
Pick me up and plant me?
No. He basically pushed
just
down
got me
on
down.
your feet
Yeah.
so that you could find
fisherman,
purchase.
not a farmer.
Right. He is a fisherman.
He's doing planting things.
You eventually are able to find your footing and reel in this fish. Go ahead and roll a d12 for me.
D12.
Roll for fish.
A 3.
That's not a
So
good fish.
you
It's
pull
a
up
tiny little-
a whopping 3-inch long fish, which is nothing to shake a stick at for a hobbit. But
One of the fishermen shakes their stick at it.
it's the other fishermen kind of chortle to themselves like, okay, they're not quite so big. This guy's pretty unsteady on his feet, huh?
Oh my gosh. Okay, I totally got up to see what the fish looked like. As soon as the fish, I'm back on the floor rolling, laughing.
Banjo, this is a lot bigger than you got. All you got was a lump on the back of your head.
Well, unfortunately, sir, this is not a keeper. We're going to have to put this one back. Give him another year to grow a bit stronger, and maybe he'll have a tangle with a real fisherman here at some point. But today's not your lucky day, I'm afraid, he says as he flips back in the fish into the deeper
Say
waters.
Heart's your name. I'll remember you, Hearts.
Oh, you don't even know his name, yeah.
I'm not going to remember you, let's be honest. I barely remember my boys' names.
That's all right. He takes the spindle and throws in his line again. Have a good day. And
My
he
throw was better.
goes back about fishing.
That was the best fishing side quest we've done. Alright, let's keep going.
Alright, so,
Now we know where to go.
I'll wipe a tear
Bam
from
for
my
now.
eye.
bum for long.
So you head to the west off the path. There's something of a path, but it is not very well trodden. You see that it's largely overgrown. It appears that this is a farm that had been established before, but had been left kind of vacant, which is fairly evident when you come up to it. But it is well protected. You've noticed you haven't seen actually too many structures on this side of the road, and this close to the Brandywine, which butts up basically against the old forest. And down here, people do things a little bit differently. They lock their doors at night. They close their shutters. they have walls built. And so you see this fairly large stone and wood fence around the perimeter of what you can only assume is the farm called Bamfurlong.
Bumfurlong.
No. It's Bumfurlong, man.
So as you approach it, you see that there is a figure with a straw hat and overalls stooped over and moving. It appears to be a large pile of rocks and kind of throwing them off of a field. He has some sort of hand-driven implement that he's using to upturn them and cast them out of his field.
I know what that thing's called. It's called an auger.
No, it's September.
What'd you do to her?
Who's gone there? All right. So I knock on the fence. Oi there, farmer boy. Farm.
Whoa.
Hey, farm.
Boy farm.
So the straw hat looks up, and you see
You biffed it. Now he hates us.
you see
Farmer boy farm.
a rather young-looking hobbit. He sets down the implement he's working with, and he heads over towards the fence. Hello there. What might you lot be doing here at Bamfurlong?
Ah, Bamfurlong. I thought it was Bumfurlong.
No.
I like this guy. Hey, we were
Just like you
told
like
by
your
a
young
couple
friend.
of people that you were starting up a new farm, and we have some crops, but we don't have a farm. We were wondering if you might be able to help us out by growing.
Oh,
some-
you need a farm
some
to grow
produce
crops.
for it.
I know that myself. I'm not been a farmer for long. In fact, you can see this field is empty. There's no crops, and I'm working to get things planted. But to grow crops, you'll need a farm.
Oh,
This
he's
is
an
very
honest
true.
one. He is.
I like this guy. He's smart too. So, thankfully, Barry has a great proposal for you. Barry, you want to go ahead and...
So
Right.
go ahead, and whoever would like to be the spokesperson for your group, go ahead and roll a charisma check.
Well, that's got to be Barry, right?
No.
Wait,
I did
my,
it last
my
time.
charisma...
Do you want me to do it?
My
I'll do it
charisma's
I
again.
mean,
at-
I can do it. I just don't
Do it.
have no
12.
bonus to it.
We don't
so,
have to. That's fine. Do it.
Okay,
This'll be
I'll
fun.
go ahead and do it. Let's see what happens.
rolls
Unless
bad.
Drew wants
no,
to. He kind
you
of did
can't.
say young hobbit, and young hobbits are gonna be like
Forget it,
Skibbity
man.
Ohio.
So
never
that
been
just gives you one re-roll during the encounter. So
what does?
if you succeeded, it would give you one free re-roll
Okay,
during
okay,
the
okay.
encounter, just like the last time.
Okay.
You did fail by more than 5, though, so that does grant you disadvantage during the interaction.
Yes. Perfect.
So this will be a little tougher. However, there's good news here. So you're talking with a farmer. You want to give him crops. You want him to pay. You want to pay him for what he's doing, right?
Yeah.
So this
we
is
wanna
a
pay him
very-
to do the job he was going to be doing for free.
Right. So this is a very reasonable request. So you have two possible failures before you are out, right? And you have to go with a lower option. And you can choose how you want to persuade him. You can intimidate, you can persuade, or you can be a little deceitful.
We're gonna have to deceive this guy, and I can do that. I'm happy to deceive Farmer Maggot.
So listen, you're a fisherman, right? just
I heard if you plant a fish underneath your crops.
So if you intimidate him, you'll have to use like your reputation and like the power that you have or whatever. If you
holds up the cursed gem.
persuade him, you can be anonymous in that. If you can just use persuasion to convince him. And if you deceive him, that will lead to mistrust if it fails. So
Persuasion's
fail.
got to
I'm
be
gonna
the
lie to
best
him.
thing, man.
it's up to you.
Again, like, how hard would it be to persuade someone to do something if you're giving them money for it? Like,
So
You would
go
think
ahead.
You could also
Not-
try to
not
do it for
hard.
free.
Let's go ahead and while you're thinking about how you want to take this on, Barry, why don't you kind of go through what this introduction looked like
Oh yeah.
as you try and fail to kind of bring the party to favorable light as you introduce yourselves.
We should. Can I just before we start? Can I just say let's try to role play it out before we roll? Because that was a lot of fun when we did with Sheriff.
That's
Bolton.
fine with me.
But I loved it.
Okay, so failing to make a good impression. I'm so good at that. So this should be so
Aw.
easy. Barty will walk up.
Barty.
Is there Barry? Sorry. Will walk up. Is there a fence around the field yet?
Yes, it's a little over chest high, so you can still see over it. But it would be difficult to try and clamber over.
Oh,
right.
perfect.
So Barry will walk up towards the fence and greet Farmer Maggot. Well, that's a mighty fine field you've got there. Looks like you've taken a lot of time to till it and prepare it and things. And
Aye, farming is a
fair.
lot of work.
I that it is. I know well. I tend to spend more time in the wilds myself. I haven't the patience for growing proper crop. I like to forage and whatnot for as much as I can. But and as he's speaking,
Maggot's
he
yawning.
kind of leans and puts some weight on the top rail of this fence. And unfortunately, it happens to be a weak structural point for the fence. And he breaks the top rail and falls headlong into the field and winds up with a face full of dirt, and quickly picks himself up. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry. I see if I can help you mend that. But we're hoping you can help us with some mushrooms. You know how to farm mushrooms, don't you? I mean, everybody knows how to farm mushrooms.
Except us.
He blinks for a little bit and looks down at the post that you leaned on that kind of fell out of the fence. Aye, farming's a lot of work, and it appears you're intent upon creating more for me, I see. Mushrooms. No, I've not dabbled in mushrooms, really. It is a tempting crop, but there's just so much competition. There's so many different varieties, and I'd have to be sure of it to get into it. I've got some other. I'm thinking about cornering the potato market. Really, that's where my focus has been so far. So hopefully that'll turn out well.
Well, tell you what, potatoes are great, right? But you know what pairs great with a potato, Master Maggot?
Bacon.
Oh, true.
Ooh,
you know what
and
else pairs with
sausage.
bacon and potatoes?
Ooh,
Eggs.
and pheasant.
Eggs, right? Bacon, eggs, potatoes. What else, though?
Ooh,
Keep
and
going.
rosemary.
Tomatoes.
Ooh, and
No,
did I say
good
sausage?
Have you had a good
Rabbit.
mushroom?
Ooh,
Tony's
and
great.
partridge.
It makes a great stew. Have you had mushrooms with your taters? You skin them, you smash them, you put them into a soup. Soup. Delicious.
He kind of tilts his head as you almost throw up at the word soup, and oh, you sure make it sound appetizing. I'll say that.
Sure.
Well, I'm not sure. It sounds like you're working with persuasion, so go ahead and roll your persuasion check.
Oh, sweet goodness, please. Oh, goodness, please. Oh, yeah, that's about right.
That's par for the course.
Let me roll an actual physical dice 5 times.
No, the 2 is the lower. Well, what's your second one? Because you could still critically fail.
I already rolled twice as high as we did this whole entire thing.
I'm not a big fan of mushrooms myself. Like I said, they're either a quick crop, but they're a bit finicky, and it just takes a little too much moisture or not quite enough, and, well, they just turn out all soggy and no meat. So, I don't know. I'm not sure I want to get into the mushroom market. It's just maybe not for me.
Banjo, you have the money,
I
right?
yawn, and as I yawn, I accidentally drop. I'm like, oh no! Look at all this gold. Oh well, I guess we could take our business to another farmer. I guess if we want, I guess so.
Smooth. That would be deception, yeah?
Very
It's a bluff,
likely,
for
yeah.
sure.
It
It's a bluff.
seems to be so. It depends. Did you drop your gold, or did you drop
He's
the gold that is
fingering them.
supposed to go to the Green Dragon?
No, I dropped the gold that we have. Obviously, I wouldn't drop the gold that we have for them. Psh, that would be stupid. Obviously, I would
Sounds like
want
he
to
did.
drop
He
the
should roll a
gold.
two-sided coin to see which
Because
one.
I was
it's up-
holding all the treasure that we got from the goblin.
Oh, so it's up to you. If you feel like this is a genuine thing where you could theoretically offer him what you dropped, then that could be persuasion. If it's not a genuine offer, then it would be deception.
Well, yeah, if he knows that we're rich, we're not going to give him all of our money. But yeah, okay, so then in that case, I would say it would be deception because
Okay.
I'm dropping all that we have, like, oh, just to give the, yes, to
Illusion
put
of
the
riches.
phrase
Yeah,
that we
okay.
are rich.
Okay, go ahead.
Now
Roll
he's staring
deception.
into two muddy hobbits.
By the way, I rolled physical dice and it was a 17, so
Yeah.
I'm not gonna split hairs, but yeah, I'm putting my actual dice away. We'll go back to the fake dice. That's okay.
Fake
I rolled a
dice.
6. Okay.
I mean, if you had wanted to roll your real dice but told me beforehand, you could have done that. We'll take
Totally fine.
your real dice roll because yeah, I think that'll make it easier for me to not figure out how to not screw you over with this.
Dude, and it is harder for you because it's like, why are these people failing every single thing that they do?
I mean, it does.
It just-
That's what the game is about. Is it's
true.
it's half random. So
I mean, it literally is in our name anyways. It's so many blunders.
And I haven't had a
accidental.
single flagon. It's disgraceful.
You haven't.
I've not had a single flagon.
so okay. So team vote. Should we accept the roll of the dice or should we accept the RNG? Roll of the dice.
I want to be successful in life, so I want this to
want
work.
fail anymore.
Let's flip a coin,
What do you
yes or
think
no?
I'm voting?
I'm so tired.
No more randomization. No more randomization.
Okay. We'll accept the roll of the dice.
Hey, look, I rolled a 20. Wow.
What?
Well, I do think I need some more money for seed and, of course, to repair this fence. How much? What exactly are you proposing? I wasn't sure there was money involved. I do have needs for my farm, and of course, money makes such things easier.
Oh, this money. Oh, yes, quite. Well, indeed, you will get money, and we will pay up front half. And the next half you will get when we get our crop. And in fact, there might be more money to come. But we know that you're starting a farm. We know you need a little upstart for to start what we want you to do, and a little extra. Obviously, for the fence, we might throw in, some a little sweeten the deal a little bit. But at the end of the day, what we need you to do is we have these mushroom spores,
Right?
Barty takes the bag
And-
off his back and hands it to him.
and
He looks in as you're explaining this, pulls out a mushroom, smells it.
And once these mushrooms are cultivated, we would appreciate if you sent word to us in Mickle
Via
Delving
Raven.
to the Bird and Babe.
The bird and the babe.
Yes, quite. Because they have a business that they are trying to run, and they will need the produce that you will produce. Wink. That's why it's called produce, because you're producing it.
Right.
So once we hear that you have gotten these mushrooms done and such, we will come, collect them, give you your portion, the rest of said sum, which we will barter, and we'll agree on this in a
Barty.
bit. He's the Barty guy. And then from then on, we might even, if you like, we could pursue extending this to a long-term thing where you and the Bird and Babe create a contract with a supply and demand for these mushrooms. Would that be something you'd be interested in?
Well, I do have the back quarter of my farm, which is laden with these rotting logs, which should grow mushrooms quite nicely.
Don't happen to have an old hollow tree still standing by any chance, would ya?
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh.
That's an interesting request, though. Well,
He's funny.
I think that might be quite well. I could turn around this crop fairly quickly, and if I have a guaranteed place to sell it to, well, that makes it all worthwhile. And so, I think that's
Your
all right.
words, not mine.
Works out.
I'm just the deliverer.
All right.
Messenger.
So, how will you be carrying the load back to the Bird and Babe? That's a fair piece away.
Well, we can make those arrangements as obviously we're super rich. We're not super. As the proprietors of this investment, we can definitely handle that. But if you know of someone who could assist, we definitely want discretion, if that's at all possible, when dealing with this, as it is a business venture. And there is a livelihood of the Bird and the Babe that we're placing in your hands with these seeds. But yes, absolutely. We would, if you have a way to get them down, we can definitely talk about that. But at the end of the day, it is on us to decide what happens, how we get them hither and yon.
So all I need to do is grow yon mushrooms, send word to you when they're ready, and you'll come and pick them up.
Yes,
Right.
and obviously, if it's a rotted crop, which goodness forbid, Hobbit hole forbid, but of course, we would have to inspect the crop, see how it's going, and then we'll give you the rest of our payment when we see that the crop is being well taken care of and has a good yield. But up front, we will definitely give you enough money to start it. See it through, and then some.
Oh, it'll be
That
a
being
good
said-
crop.
That being said, how much would you need to start this venture, and then we'll decide the sum.
Well, to be honest, I could probably start with the mushrooms as long as you have the spores. I think I've got everything I need to get them going. I'd like to get my other farm goods going, and that would likely take 3 or 4 gold.
3 or 4 gold? What are you running, a gold farm?
No, I have some borders
He
to
will be
repair.
once he's
and-
in business with us, right, Maggot? Right?
Right? What?
Absolutely. Splendid. I shake his hand.
4 gold? No, not 4 gold.
4 million gold.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant silver. 4 silver, and I'll have everything I need. I just need a few loads of seeds, and I've got a great contact that could give me
I'm sorry. I think I still got some mud in my ears. Did you say 6 silver? I was thinking more like 3.
4 silver is a great amount for me. I could do quite a bit with that, with the land I've got here, and I just need a few more varieties of seeds, and I can pick them up from a farmer down the way. He's let some of his
let's
food
do
go
this.
to seed.
How about this?
How much money do we
And I
have?
fix this fence right here, right now.
Oh, you've got no spade.
I've got an axe.
You're not chopping up my earth.
Barry,
I don't look to me. The man doesn't want her to chop his dirt. I say we give him the silver and be done with it. That way we can get back to where we're supposed to go.
Listen here. I'll give you 5 silver. Right here and right
Banjo.
now.
Shut up, buddy.
I saw the devil the other day, Barty. And now I'm over here making a business deal. The art of the deal. You ever read it? Trumpkin. What was his last name? Forget.
Trumpkin.
Nobody
Donald
makes mushroom
Trumpkin.
deals like I do.
Nobody makes mushroom deals. This deal, out of the water, blowing out of the... 5 silver.
The art of
Right
the
now.
shroom.
And once we get back and approve everything,
this room.
that's 5 more silver and possibly more to come. What do you say to that, Farmer Mag? And I outstretch my right hand.
It sounds
that,
good. I think if you buy these mushrooms by the bushel, I'd charge at my going right. I would charge 5 silver per bushel, and I think that's a fair price for fine mushrooms. And of course, depending on the quality, we might discount it or grade it up if it's a fine crop. But I think I can shake on that.
Absolutely. We're fine, honest hobbits. It's a pleasure. Again, what was your name again, Mr. Mabbit?
My name's Farmer Maggot.
Farmer Maggot. Dude, hey, what a pleasure. Again, Banjo, I don't know if we ever introduced all of ourselves. My bandit is Barty, that Barry.
That's a lot of B names. My name doesn't start with a B.
Thank heavens.
I feel a little out of place.
Good thing your name's not
you're
Farmer
the first person we've met.
Baggett. Oof. That doesn't sound right. Let's go ahead and just shake on it. We'll be good, and then we'll come back later when you send word to the Burden Babe. Yes.
That sounds absolutely great.
Right.
do we
Well,
give
I'm
him
gonna go
silver
through
now,
the sack of coin, protrude
Actually,
with the
gives him
5
marbles.
silver, and right
Thank
there
you
in his
very
hand.
much.
And then there's the spores. Again, if you have any issues, also send word. Again, we can discuss the payment once we're on site seeing those mushrooms. If it's an abundant crop, we might even give you more than 5. But again, we'll cross that Hobbit bridge when we get to it. I'm gonna go home.
Well, thank you. I think this will be the beginning of a great business partnership. And what's the name of the courier service? Do you have a name
Quick
for
Post.
the
LLC.
Quick Post? Is already you're using the Quick Post? They won't ship bushels.
Sorry. Bumble and Bees LLC.
What's the LLC stand for?
Little
ladies,
hobbits. Hobbits is spelled with a CH at the beginning, so it's got a little chutzpah.
children.
Little hobbits. Anyways.
Well, I wouldn't claim to understand such things, but the bumbling bees, all right, little ladies, children, I'm glad to be doing business with you, and I look forward to a great crop of mushrooms. And he takes the sack of mushrooms and he heads back towards the farmhouse with his crop.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! And we know he's never leaving this, or he's not going to skip town, because I watch the movies and he stays here all his life. So we can leave. Guaranteed money, baby.
And the Lore Master never made us roll again to see if it was a success.
Yay!
No, that was a success. You only needed one success.
I think
really?
we were
Yes.
done with the dice.
How did we
rolling.
fail so
Yeah,
hard
thank
for
goodness.
one success?
Thank goodness. Okay. So I'm gonna say, we're hungies. I've been doing all this farming and fishing and not a lot of eating. What do you
the
guys
Green
say
Dragon?
we start heading back to the Green Dragon, eh? I've been jonesing for one of them crocs.
Very good. Yeah, so you can set out towards the Green Dragon. It is a couple days' journey to get back to Hobbiton.
Right.
But go ahead and make your journey roll, and we will see how efficacious it is.
No, I don't want to roll. I'm scared.
13.
Roll an actual dice. That works. Drew did it. 13.
I rolled a
Oh,
13.
I'm scared to roll.
Dude, yeah.
Why are you frightened?
He got the PTSDs from the dices. The PTS dice. The D stands for
D stands for
Dice.
destruction. Good thing we didn't have to fix that guy's fence. That would have sucked.
I could have done it easy.
That's it, you guys. I'm gonna go throw rocks at things. No, I'm just kidding.
I can't find my travel notes.
You guys see that pigeon over?
There's definitely no.
Oh, there it
dangers
is.
in-
Okay.
In the Shire.
So
we're good.
it was a 13.
There's
Okay.
definitely no.
So you are able to make great time walking along the road, and you are first of all lightened because you're not carrying these mushrooms with you, and while they didn't weigh a lot, it was very
5
bulky,
silver?
and so now you don't have to worry about that.
And I don't have the temptation to eat them.
And it weighed on our minds too.
That's right.
Did it?
Yeah.
Our souls.
All this money I have is just so heavy.
And as you proceed up toward Hobbiton, west toward Hobbiton, I should say, you do feel the air growing chiller every morning. And so
Winter.
with the successive sunrise, you wake up on the I'm going to say it's been was it 5 when you set out and another 2 4, so probably close to 11 days by the time you arrive at Hobbiton. And we'll say that the time has passed fairly uneventfully. You have had a few interactions with friendly hobbits along the way, and you've been able to acquire, a slice of pie here, a bit of a baked apple there, as you make your way, not necessarily so much foraging, there's not a lot left except for root plants, and those don't largely grow right alongside the road.
Thank goodness we have a skilled hunter with us. Goodness gracious.
But yeah, making some connections with the townspeople as you walk along, you are able to eventually make your way to Hobbiton and the Green Dragon Inn. And you walk in the door, and
Wait, did we want to approach this differently, or we just
Let's just
we're
parading right in?
We're in.
Go right in.
I'm so ready.
Slam the bag of money on the counter.
so as you arrive,
This goes to
it
Gerd of
is
100%, but yes.
mid-afternoon. It looks like it's just after afternoon tea. And so the place is fairly slow right now. It's not very busy. There's 2 or 3 customers enjoying a flagon. Their evening rush hasn't quite begun, but the sun is already beginning to set. And you think that probably soon there will be an inflow of customers. And you walk in to see Dahlia minding the counter and wiping it down, getting a set of flagons ready. And as you walk in, she looks up. Well, hello, greetings and welcome. Oh, hello, Banjo, Barty, Barry.
Yeah, I don't like
What,
you saying that first.
What are you doing here? Hamfast
Dahlia,
is
I take
cooking today.
Oh, he's cooking. Great. So he's gonna be having
take
knives
off-
and stuff in his hands. Barry.
I take off my hat, my
stomach
Hobbit
hurts.
hat that I totally have.
I
Dahlia,
need to vomit.
we come back because, well, we just feel plumb awful. We do.
Well, I would say
I feel we're about to feel worse.
I'm a bit surprised that you've come back at all. I did, after all, advise you to stay away from Hamfast, who does work here.
Yeah, you said just for a little bit, though.
A little bit? Well, it has been a few days. Perhaps he's forgotten. Well, I think... I think Gerda's back there as well.
Oh, that's really, really convenient. Oh God.
I don't know. Would you? What's going on? I don't know.
Well, first, I think Banjo wanted some crock, if there's any left.
That's okay. I
We'll
don't
pay
need
for
crock.
it. Full price.
That's okay. You don't have to do that. Please don't put yourself out for me. I really don't. That's okay. what we really wanted to do is really just say sorry. That's really
Not
what we
to
wanted to do.
Dahlia. Dahlia didn't do anything, Banjo.
Well, yeah, but
We
we
didn't do
gotta
anything
make
to
amends
Dahlia.
here. So, first, we're very sorry for anything we may have inadvertently caused towards you guys or anybody you know. We're sorry.
All right.
That's just
Well,
first and
thank you. That's
Second of all, we also wanted to apologize to Gerda and
Oh,
Rumble.
right.
oh,
Actually,
Right.
we have a letter for Gerda, too.
okay.
And we're hoping we can further explain ourselves because we really have made a right fool, and the circumstances, though they aren't enough to excuse us, we would like to at least share with all three of you at the same time, what really we intended when we very, very, of course, rudely approached Gerda in the forest. Again, we're very sorry about that, but we would like to, as a group, just kind of sit down and as Hobbit folk, just talk this out and really just smooth things over.
So she's kind of, as you've noticed as you walked in, when she recognized you, immediately she went flush, or rather she went white, and all the color ran out of her cheeks, and she's been kind of stammering since and trying to put together words, and she steadied herself on the bar almost like she was gonna keel over. And when you say you want to talk to all three of them, she says, "Oh, all right. Well, let me go tell them first, and I'll come out and get you. I think it would be best if they were warned before they see your bright and shiny faces."
Is there any posters on the wall saying, "Do not allow entry"?
Do not serve.
It's just three even crappier drawn.
No shirt, no shoes, no bees.
Barty Berry Banjo.
No Barty. No
Well,
Barty
while she
Berry
turns around to
Banjo.
go tell them, Barty has a bright idea and decides to take his axe and helmet and everything off and just leave it. Not everything. His axe, helmet, and boots off and leave them outside the door. I'd rather not look menacing.
Oh, before you go, Dahlia, wait a minute. I believe we
Yes?
have something in the way of a gift to perhaps help smooth things over.
Good for Dahlia.
We have the money.
And the letter.
The
The
money
letter's
and the
for Gerda.
So
Letters for
both
Gerda.
of these, and I'm like not even looking her in the eyes. I'm so ashamed of this thing. I'm saying both of this sack here, it's not much. It's all we could scrounge together, but and this letter, hopefully this explains a lot more of why and what we were doing up here. But yeah, if you could give this might also help smooth the blow here of them knowing that we're in their restaurant.
Okay. So Dahlia, wordlessly, she takes these two things. She doesn't look at the letter. She doesn't look at what's in the bag. She exits to the kitchen, and you can hear, a hush voice.
Can I try to listen closer to what they're saying?
He's not saying. He's just making.
This is the stupidest bit I've ever done.
So funny.
Can Barty try to listen to what they're saying?
Like actually in the game.
No, actually,
You can, yeah, you can. Go ahead and roll. Let's see.
Roll for eavesdropping.
Perception, I guess. Roll perception, since you guys are rolling so well. Let's waste a roll on this.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a 20. Yeah, 17.
Yeah, perfect. So you hear perfectly that, and it takes you a little bit
He
to
just
get
kind
your
of, like,
ear,
does this.
ear pressed against a crack.
this is a cup.
But you clearly hear Hamfast say, "Well, those lot, I'll kill them. I can't be coming back here." And she says, "Well, wait, I haven't looked at it. Here they go." And you hear the sound of paper opening, and Gerda kind of whispering, interesting. Well, this is from, I forget what the name of the friend was.
Sheriff Folger, wasn't it?
Petunia.
Petunia,
Oh, yeah, that's
yep.
right.
It was from Petunia.
wasn't from Sheriff
Oh
Folger,
yes,
it was from
this is
Petunia.
from Petunia. She's using my mushrooms and she's selling the crock and she's thanking me for. Oh, my lands! Look at all this gold. I've never seen so much gold in all my life. Have you, Hamfast? I've seen some gold. And this is from Petunia? No, I don't. She doesn't say anything about it here. And so at this point, if you'd like to, you are welcome to break into the kitchen, or you can wait for her to come out and get you.
Barty pokes his head around the corner. That's actually partially from us and partially from your friend Master Bolger.
Bolger? What has he got to do with it?
Oh yeah,
Well,
totally.
if you want to know, actually, he's the one that told us to do this whole bloomin' thing.
No.
Can we come in?
Well, I guess so. This is going to require quite an explanation. And you can see Hamfast is standing there, and he's got two knives in either of his hands, and he's lowering them as you walk in the door. And
Mr. Hamfast, you're looking better than I saw
fast.
last time. You're looking a lot more intimidating.
Must I say, I'm pretty sure this dude's name was Rumbled.
Yeah, no, it was definitely Rumbled.
oh, you're
Hamfast
right.
was the
I don't
gardener.
know. I don't know why.
Hamfast
Rumbled
was
is
the
correct.
gardener. However,
You hear rumble.
Mr.
I'll edit it in.
Rumbled.
People messed up his name so much that I can't keep it straight in my brain.
It's
This
not
is very
my
true.
fault.
It is your fault. You did it deliberately. At least once.
Never.
Chamchast. Anyways, Chamchast.
It's not his name. It's Rumbold.
Rumbled. Yeah, because it's literally the most intimidating sounding Hobbit name.
Could have been Bumbold.
We'll be straight up with you. We were tasked, and we were provided this money by a patron of ours. But the end goal here is, there's so many hobbits in where we're from, which is Hobbiton. Where's Petunia from? And
Mickle Delving.
this yes, thank you very much. This Boffin's crock is it's the lifeblood of us fair and fine hobbits. Not necessarily us, but those people back in Mickle Delving. And when we got tasked by our patron to come and spread the joy of your cooking. As soon as we did this, the joy, the happiness, the gold. Did I say about the gold?
She
There's a
jingles the bag in her hand. Well, you don't have to say it. I see it right here. It's quite a bit.
Mr. Yes, indeed. Our patron wants to give this gold to you as an apology for our wrongdoings, because he is responsible for our actions just as much as we are.
I feel
And
like
he
you
feels
need to
just as bad
interject.
as we do.
If you do find who our patron is and ask him, he will deny it. But clearly, we're poor hobbits. We couldn't have come up with this gold all by ourselves.
Yeah, we have a very rich patron. We'll just say that. And again, they want us to apologize and in person just say, sorry. We're sorry.
You do realize that I haven't been able to sell Boffin's crock for nigh on a week because of the mushrooms that were taken.
Exactly. That's what the gold's for.
So is this the
We're
total of what
sorry.
you would have lost in terms of profits for Boffin's?
Well,
crop
I'm
over a
sure
week?
it's more, but there's reputation. There's folks that can't come here
And that
for the
can't be
soup.
bought. And that can't be bought. Absolutely.
Oh.
They can't come there for the soup.
It doesn't do me any good if Mickle Delving's selling my soup and I have none here. Go ahead and roll your check. This upon which rests the acceptance of.
Am I rolling? Because I've got to type
Yeah,
that.
no, you've been spokespersoning this, Drew. Roll an actual dice, though.
Okay, so I am whatchamacallit, what did you have me roll for again? Performance?
Yeah, this will be persuasion. I mean, it's up to you. If you have a.
Well, it would be a charisma roll anyway, so it's a total of 11.
Okay. She hasn't been completely turned off to the idea, but she is not convinced that this is enough to make up for what is happening, and so she's reluctant to accept because there's just too many moving pieces. I don't understand what Bolger had to do with it. You said he told you to come and steal my mushrooms?
Can I explain a little bit? May I explain a little bit, Banjo, Barry?
Please do.
Because I feel a lot of this is actually on my shoulders. And when we were coming up here, I'll be honest, my heart was in my blooming tummy. I wanted to vomit everywhere. It's gross.
Don't do
about
that.
Right, here we go. Okay, so, you know what the Yule Feast is, right? The Yuletide Festival is coming up
Right.
in just a couple days. Right, so, Sheriff Bolger, the I don't want to say flamboyant, but, you know, the je ne sais quoi. He likes.
He does say that a lot, doesn't he?
He does. I don't know what
What
it
does
means.
that mean?
He's got
don't
this.
know.
He's got this air of being
It's some form of
Definitely.
Elvish. I can't understand it.
the elves from Paris. So he likes big. He likes show, and he had this really tinkling of an idea just bouncing around in that big old belly brain of his. And he thought, what if I could supply Boffin's crock for the Yuletide feast? And that's where we come in. We were just enjoying some raspberry cordial, and Petunia was being wonderful and giving only 2 of us pheasant, and it was delicious, I'm sure. And he asks us to help him out, and he didn't tell us how to go about it. He did ask our discretion so as not to cause this big old kerfuffle. Another Paris elf word. So in the grand scheme of things, I will admit we definitely did a bad job doing this job.
Oh, yeah.
And to be honest, we should have been upfront and told you when we ran into you in the forest what we were about. And for that, I apologize. I hope that we can somehow make amends for that somehow down the road. I don't think it's possible right here, right now, but I want to try in the future. With that being said, there is still a very, very lucrative business idea possible for you folks, you lovely folks. Mr. Rumble, could you put the knives down? At least one of them, please. I'm having a hard time focusing.
It clatters onto the table.
Oh, that might have been worse. Anyways.
Throws it right next to your head.
So, we have been pulling some strings. Now, this is all still teetering of your decision on this. Now, we have, potentially, a supplier for you guys to generate gold, which will, in turn, help provide more hobbits with your Boffin's crock. Well, maybe not as much here now, but over the grand scheme of things, it's more then. After that, then we also went and found ourselves someone who is willing and able and capable to help you with the growing, the caretaking, the currying, because I know you're not going to be able to do this forever. There's a lot of work going from here to, and I don't remember where anything is, but to wherever you go to get these things, and back, and there, and back. And
It's best probably
You
if you forget everything that you
I've
found
already
out.
forgotten.
Absolutely. We don't know at all where we're going. That's why,
You
yeah.
have to admit, that journey is grueling to do once every so often, right?
It is a long day's walk.
Imagine having someone you trust that would do that for you. Young Fred, for instance. That bloke, he'd do so well at running out of this tavern to get those. Right, Banjo?
I don't like that guy.
Don't say that.
I like
then-
that guy.
And we also have... We didn't get any signatures, boys.
No, that's totally fine. But again, we know that the the fine hobbits of Mickle Delving, you know, they yearn for this, like children yearn for the mines.
Right.
They yearn for the cross.
So
Barty, go ahead and
Master
make your roll as well. Are you using persuasion as well?
Oh yeah, I don't think I could roll anything else. They were not. This is just straight up honesty.
Roll for honesty.
Hey, a number
15.
above 12.
So she looks like she is
Roll.
leaning a little more towards the middle and leaning a little bit in your favor, and it seems like she needs something else for the tipping point. And she looks to Barry. Now,
Herbs, give him.
what? What have you to say for yourself? These two are young ones, and well, Barty, what
Yes.
what business have you to do with them, and why did you go along with this
Me?
concocted? No, Barry,
Oh, you said
you're a
Barty,
well-respected herbalist and a family man.
Well, I'm not exactly sure how to explain it all. I might have gotten caught up in it all, and you know, I happen to be of the persuasion that Buffin's Crock isn't just a favourite soup. It's an institution. It's an inalienable right of all hobbit kind.
Gosh.
It's an inalienable right, and honestly, who are we to stand? Dun, 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 dun.
You hear the Hobbit anthem.
I had a dream.
We the hobbits, for the hobbits, by the hobbits.
The hobbits. Included in the hobbits.
We, 10 years ago, stood here on this ground to establish Buffin's Crock for all, and not just the hobbits in Hobbiton, but also in Mickle Delving. And why stop there? Why not expand to the East Farthing as well? But I think I got a little carried away with it, and perhaps delusions of grandeur and so on and so forth. But I stand by the statement that I think all hobbits deserve to have a place within walking distance that serves them the most delicious and tasty soup that I've ever had. And so
Franchise.
And hey, if this fails, we have empanadas.
So yeah,
We never patented that.
that's why. That's
Okay.
my reasoning. Because hobbits deserve
That means
soup.
we would have to go back down to South Farthing.
Go ahead and make your check. I'm assuming persuasion as well.
It's Central Farthing.
That's not good. That's not good.
And as the words of Barry, "Your soup should be a right of all hobbits," echo through the kitchen, and Gerda looks up at him with a bit of a squint in her eyes, we will close the curtain on tonight's episode
Oh snap!
with the cliffhanger. What will happen next? Will they accept your payment? Will Rumbold finally satisfy the thirst for blood that runs deep within his eyes? Or will something else take place and a franchise emerge with the Bumbling Bees LLC, Little Ladies' Children?
That's not what it is.
That's what you said it was.
No.
Well, we'll find out what the real name is next time
Next time.
on Blunders and Flagons. Thank you for joining us. Have a great night.
Bye. Don't forget where to find us.
Find us on the internet. Goodbye.
Blunders and Flagons is a creation of David Lennox in partnership with Daniel and Drew Lennox and Jerry Hoppmann. Content for this adventure is compiled from Tolkien's Lord of the Rings universe. The system and certain names and details of this adventure were adapted from the Free League's work the Lord of the Rings Roleplaying and Shire Adventures starter set for 5e. Sounds in this episode were sourced in part from freesound.org under the Creative Commons and Attribution license. Atmosphere and other sounds were derived from Monument Studios' Fantasy Music and Cinematic Atmosphere collections under the Creative Commons license. Other music was created using Suno Premium. Detailed attribution found in the description.